Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about self-care while I take you on my most favorite self-care activity, which is hiking in the Mount Baldy Wilderness in the White Mountains of Arizona. It's absolutely gorgeous here today, and I wanted to share it with you. We're going to talk about self-care, what it is and what it isn't. There's a lot of confusion around this stuff, so we're going to jump in. Self-care has become quite a buzzword or phrase, and it's very misunderstood. Many people think it's too expensive, it takes time I don't have, it's selfish, it's not important, I'll get to it when I have time or money to do that, etc. This video will address all of these myths and more and give specifics on how to put some self-care into your life right now, today. Why do we have to be concerned about self-care? Well, neglecting yourself and allowing stress to build up creates surges of adrenaline and other stress hormones in your body that are literally like drinking poison. You may notice increased headaches, stomach aches, digestive issues, difficulty falling or staying asleep, inability to have the energy to get out of bed, challenges in choosing healthy foods, urges to eat comfort foods, the urge to isolate, numb out, be immobilized, worsening mental health symptoms like depression or anxiety, and a whole myriad of other things as this poison deteriorates your body from the inside out. My new favorite book is When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate. He's a physician who has studied chronic stress and what happens to our bodies. He outlines clearly how poor self-care wreaks havoc on our gut, our immune system, our thyroid, and our cardiovascular system. There really isn't a system in our bodies that isn't affected by these surges of stress chemicals. He shares many stories of clients with severe physical ailments and talks about how studies show chronic stress played a part in it. I've had a few times in my life of enormous stress when my body finally said no. Those were times of severe physical consequences, and it was horrible. Since then, I've made it a top priority to optimize my health and minimize my stress. Of course, we're all still going to have illnesses and injuries, but I want to minimize my previously active part in driving myself right off that cliff. So what is self-care? Self-care is deliberate action we take to care for every aspect of ourselves, including our mental, emotional, physical, social, intellectual, and spiritual health. Two words that I like to focus on are restoration and rejuvenation. Self-care needs to become a consistent lifestyle that is ever evolving to meet your new needs at different times of your life. Your self-care is very personal to you. You cannot compare yours to anyone else's or take on someone else's strategies without asking yourself if they fit for you. Balance. It's super important that we think about good self-care being rebalancing yourself from the inside out. So if you're an anxious, intense person who is exhausted, balance might mean learning to rest, find quiet, and relaxation or mindfulness. Whereas if you're a depressed person who's been isolating and inactive, balance may mean pushing yourself to get back into life. If you're the social person who's always out, you may need to rebalance with some me time. But if you're isolated, balance is getting engaged with others. I've even known people who are out of balance doing their nails and hair and massages to such a degree that I would encourage them to go volunteer at Habitat or the food bank and get away from that obsession with self-pampering. This hike, where the little Colorado River flows alongside the trail for a number of miles, the wildflowers are exploding and the sound of water is so soothing, is obviously physical, but it's also a complete mental, social, and emotional break for me. Also, it's deeply spiritual as I feel immersed in one of God's most beautiful creations. So to me, it's like a moving meditation and a prayer time as well as a workout. You get the idea. It looks different for each of us. Journal about each of the areas of your life, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, intellectual, and social, and where your life is out of balance, and how you would like to shift it. Myth number 1, I don't have time for that. So many of my clients, and myself in the past, think of rejuvenating as a once-a-year, 2-week vacation. That's a recipe for burnout, to be sure. Instead, think of small, intentional habits you can start to do all day, every day. Bessel van der Kolk says 3 things have to be included in our healing: deep breathing, movement, and touch. When we do these things, we are actually improving our brain chemistry with surges of serotonin, endorphin, and GABA, the good chemistry, the good neurotransmitters that affect all of our systems for the better. Small habits like deep breathing, stretch breaks, going outside, looking at the trees, listening to the birds, turning on some music and dancing around, even going to the break room if you're in an office, have a chat with a colleague, even do a short relaxation or mindfulness meditation at your desk. This shifts and softens your focus and allows you some time to shake off stress and breathe. In addition to these 5-minute vacations every hour, we need movement, breathing, and touch at the beginning or end of each day to prepare for or detox from the stresses. These can be a hike or bike or gym workout or a class. Every hour I get up and do some deep breathing and stretching. These stretches create opportunity to breathe and move, opening the chest, relaxing the neck and shoulders, and overall counterbalancing the physical and emotional strains of working. In regards to touch, I might do a quick massage of my neck too. These are some of my favorite stretches I do each hour of my workday, as well as when I wake up and before going to bed. Of course, I don't look like that. I have to hang on to something or I'll faceplant. Myth number 2, self-care is anything that soothes you. Even if you feel exhausted from your day, it's crucial to realize you are mentally exhausted, but your body needs to move. Often when I've pushed myself to go for a walk, even though I'd rather lay on the couch, I find myself rejuvenated from the walk, whereas the couch vegging just begets more vegging. What do you do to find relief from the busyness and stress of the world? Do you binge watch your favorite shows or dive into your favorite comfort foods? Do you relax by playing on your phone or engaging in social media? These are self-soothing, numbing, self-indulgence, not self-care. If you're not sure, ask yourself, is this something that's going to restore, rejuvenate, or improve my overall health and well-being? Or is it just going to numb me out for a while? Often alcohol, sweets, shopping, or even going out for a drink and a meal are promoted as self-care, but they're really not. Myth number 3, self-care is always relaxing. We have to take a step back and ask what we need to do in order to rebalance our lives and make ourselves healthier. If you need to get out and socialize more, you may have to push yourself to do that. That's not going to be comfortable or relaxing. If you're a go person, you may need to learn to rest and take a nap. This is likely very uncomfortable. If you're someone who's been isolating for months, you may have to push yourself to get up and get going. This will be uncomfortable too. If you need to move more, it's going to be hard at first. If you need to back off because you're literally running on stress fractures in your legs or back and the doctor has told you to stop doing that, it will be hard for you to learn to do more low-key forms of exercise that are not harmful and are maybe less competitive. Again, what do you need to rebalance and rejuvenate? Myth number 4, self-care is selfish. One of the reasons self-care is so hard is that we define it as selfish, so we feel guilty. We can see that other things and people need our attention, and we've been in the habit of always putting others' needs first and ourselves last. You might even believe there's a spiritual basis for this, but if you look in your spiritual practice, there are often examples of self-care throughout. Even Jesus often went to the wilderness to get away from the crowds and to pray. In Gabor Mate's book, he talks extensively about the extreme caregiver type of personality, and that being particularly set up for experiencing chronic illnesses. So even if you're a parent and are working and have no time, simply noticing what you need, breathing, stretching, and doing for yourself helps you keep doing what you have to do for others. Neglecting yourself will lead to a no moment for your body, and then you will not be able to do all that you need to do for your kids and work anyway. Myth number 5, self-care is a reward. We all love to get rewarded for all the hard work that we've done, and often people set up self-care only as a reward. This creates a situation where they only take time for themselves after they have done something they see as significant enough. Well, one of the issues we all struggle with is being and doing enough. So this is a sure setup for never taking those breaks and driving off that cliff again. Myth number 6, I have to set big goals and make all these changes right now. One of my other favorite books is James Clear's Atomic Habits. He talks about how atom-sized tiny habits turn into atomic changes in our lives. So journal about how you would like your self-care to look and how you can add even a few of these small things that we've talked about into your day, into your week, into your month, into your year. Try one small change and enjoy the feelings of self-nurturing you get from these small changes, and then add another one. Myth number 7, self-care is expensive. Hopefully, I've already debunked this myth. Self-care is breathing and stretching, hiking, walking, listening to soothing music, finding what restores and rejuvenates you. I know everybody is different, and for some people, hiking is awful. Just like I absolutely abhor going to the gym. I would rather saw my leg off with a spoon. Hiking, paddleboarding, horseback riding, cross-country skiing, kayaking, canoeing, running, playing music, singing, reading, and indoor rock climbing are some of the things I love to do, but you have to find yours. You may try quite a few things before you find the things that help you feel rejuvenated. Don't give up. Keep trying new things and see what resonates. We all have not only the right, but also the responsibility to practice self-care and make sure we are living as balanced and healthy a life as we can. It takes constant readjustment and is not a static one-time effort. So find one thing you can do differently today. Breathe, stretch, move, dance, put on music, and listen to yourself. Learn how to take care of you. You'll be surging healthy chemistry through your system and reversing all of the unhealthy. I really hope you've enjoyed the self-care hike and that you will think about and put into practice the things that you love to really begin to take care of yourself. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with somebody. Maybe it'll help them too. Take good care. I'll talk soon.